Hello, I'm George. I'm a gardener. So I wanted to talk to you guys about the 1979 Hal Ashby film Being There, starring Peter Sellers in the role of a lifetime. Being There is about a middle-aged man with the mind of a child who has to leave his home, where he works as a gardener, for the first time ever. His only experience of the outside world so far being from TV. Take a look.
You're always gonna be a little boy, ain't you? Goodbye, Chance.
Bye, Louise.
After experiencing a day of real life, well, kind of, Chance, Peter Sellers' character, is hit by a limousine. And of course the woman inside thinks that because he's well dressed, he's well to do, and takes him to her house, her massive house.
Ma'am. Wilson, would you take Mr. Gardner to the third floor guest suite?
Yes, ma'am.
And I'll see you after Dr. Allenby has a look at your leg.
Thank you, yes. Yes. I've never been in one of these before.
It's one of Mr. Rand's, since he's been ill.
I see. Does it have a television?
No. But Mr. Rand does have one with an electric motor. That way he can get around by himself.
How long do we stay in here?
How long? I don't know. We'll see what the doctor says.
On arriving at the house, the massive house, in fact it's actually the biggest private home in America, Chance's simple way of speaking is mistaken for metaphor and wit, and his serenity appeals to both the woman who hit him in the car and her elderly husband, Ben. Of course, they're incredibly powerful and rich, and he ends up in their confidence.
Now, what are your plans now, Mr. Gardner? Or may I call you Chauncey?
Chauncey's fine.
So then, what are your plans, Chauncey?
Well, I would like to work in your garden.
Well, I've missed you, my friend. Come, sit down. Take a load off your feet, huh?
Hello, Mr. President.
Ah. Hello.
Mr. President, I want you to meet my very dear friend, Mr. Chauncey Gardner.
On television, Mr. President, you look much smaller.
Now, I must warn you that Chauncey's not a man to bandy words.
Oh? Really?
Chance goes on to accidentally court the Washington elite, and the end of the film, which I'm not going to show here, is open to interpretation. It's one of my favourite films of all time. I think directorially it is masterful. It's careful, it's reserved, it doesn't overplay its hand, it knows when to not play its hand. The same goes for Peter Sellers. He doesn't overdo the character at all. In terms of plot, hardly anything happens, really. He goes to someone's house, he recuperates, he makes friends with them, and he becomes friends with their friends. That's really it. Yet, I'm mesmerised by it. It's just so engaging. It's a comedy, but it doesn't make me laugh, but I still think it's funny. In fact, it's a comedy, but it kind of makes me sad. The end is sad. And this brings me on to what I want to really talk about, is the weird tonal shift. Not even right at the end of the film, after the film. So we've got very light piano music, it fades to black, and the film ends. The credits immediately start, and they're credits overlaid on top of Peter Sellers' face, and it's a scene from the movie. But it's an outtake.
I understand.
Still clear there, boys? Read that. What was the message, Mr. Gardner?
Now get this honky. Right, what's... Sorry, carry on. Okay.
Outtakes from the same scene continue for the rest of the credit sequence, and I just don't know why they're there. In fact, Peter Sellers himself actually wrote to the producers on numerous occasions asking that they be deleted, because he thought that they broke the spell of the movie. And I completely agree with him. I watched the movie again very recently after a long period of not seeing it, and I forgot that the outtakes were there. And they really brought me out of the movie universe prematurely. In fact, Peter Sellers and others have blamed those outtakes on Peter Sellers not winning the Oscar that year. And I kind of agree, even though it's not Peter Sellers' fault. I think that could prejudice an Oscar jury against a performance. I know it's only a small thing, but I just don't understand why they did it. It's like at the end of Predator, you know when Arnold Schwarzenegger is like that in the credits, and he's smiling, and then all the other commandos who've died are there like that, and there's like one with a knife, and he's there like, yeah, I played the guy with the knife in Predator, right? It's like putting that at the end of Schindler's List. Why would you do that? I like to think I'm someone who can look at something I don't agree with and go, okay, yeah, I can see what they were trying to do there. But with this, I just have no idea. I'm really intrigued. If any of you have any idea why they did this, please write a comment. I am fascinated. Also, if you've ever seen another movie that does this, I know there are movies with tonal shifts, you know, like $1 Million Baby or Full Metal Jacket, but this is different. This is the credits. And in both of those films I just mentioned, the tonal shift is on purpose, and it works. This, I think, almost just undoes the movie. Almost. My tip to you, if you're going to watch this movie and you've not seen it before, as soon as it fades to black, and you'll know when the end is, turn it off. Turn it off immediately. Turn it off and just visualize the credits in your mind. All right. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. But seriously, though, guys, if I get 3 or more likes, I'm going to review Bud Light Margarita with a Twist.